Welcome back, fight fans. Anthony Joshua is gearing up to face Daniel DuBois in a highly anticipated clash that's been years in the making. For Joshua, it's a chance at redemption and a key step towards solidifying his legendary status. For DuBois, it's an opportunity to stun the world and make his mark. Who will emerge victorious? Let's dive into this epic showdown. Anthony Joshua has had a long and complex career, headlining in many big stadium shows. Most of these events drew huge crowds mainly because of his name, brand, and legacy. However, two of his fights stand out as major sporting events: his victory over Vladimir Klitschko and his first loss to Alexander Usyk. Now, all eyes are on September's main event, where Joshua will fight Daniel DuBois for the IBF Heavyweight Title. This fight is expected to be another high-profile match that grabs a lot of attention. While DuBois, who will be 27 on fight night, isn't yet as big of a draw as Joshua was at the same age, his reputation is growing. At the same time, Joshua is making a comeback in his career. Both Joshua and DuBois have fought Usyk, and like many others, they couldn't beat the skilled Ukrainian boxer. Even Tyson Fury struggled in his bout for undisputed heavyweight status against Usyk, almost losing by knockout. Losing to Usyk isn't something to be ashamed of since he's a tough opponent, but these losses have led some people to doubt both Joshua and DuBois. This upcoming fight is a chance for both Joshua and DuBois to prove themselves again. Joshua's experience and renewed focus will go up against DuBois' determination and rising reputation. This fight is more than just about the IBF Heavyweight Title. It's an opportunity for both fighters to redefine their careers and show their resilience after past defeats. In 2019, Anthony Joshua was unexpectedly defeated by Andy Ruiz Jr., marking the first time he was counted out in his career. Many fans and experts thought that his second loss to Alexander Usyk might mean the end for him. Similarly, Daniel DuBois faced his own setbacks. He had already been stopped by Joe Joyce in 2020, and when he lost to Usyk, the criticism grew even louder. Joshua's losses to Usyk were decided by the judges, but DuBois was taken out by a powerful jab from Usyk. This led to people calling DuBois a quitter, especially after he took a knee in the Joyce fight and didn't get up before the referee's count. Even though DuBois suffered an orbital fracture against Joyce and had a controversial moment against Usyk with a possible TKO, the negative reputation stuck with him. Now, at 34, Joshua has a chance to become a champion yet again since his loss to Usyk 3 years ago in his upcoming match against DuBois. Daniel DuBois was once seen as the next big thing in British boxing, but Joshua's reputation has been on the rise again. In the past 11 months, Joshua has won 4 fights, 3 by knockout. These wins have put him back among the top heavyweights and reminded everyone of his knockout power. He's shown his ruthless side in victories over Robert Helenius, Otto Wallin, and most recently, Francis Ngannou, with his brutal boxing skills. Daniel DuBois recently talked about how it feels to become the official IBF interim world champion. He mentioned that he wished he could have won the title during his last fight, but he's still grateful for the opportunity now. DuBois respects Joshua's long reign as champion, but is determined to beat him. He described his career comeback as moving from a dark place into the light. Anthony Joshua also shares his thoughts. He said he predicted DuBois would win against Hrgovic because he pays close attention to boxing. When asked about the possibility of a trilogy fight with Usyk or finally facing Fury, Joshua acknowledged the tough competition ahead. He emphasized the need to stay sharp in the boxing world, comparing it to being part of a pack of lions. If DuBois wins, he'll secure a world title victory at Wembley at just 27 years old, defeating one of the standout fighters of his generation. Joshua did something similar when he beat Klitschko back in 2017, which was a big moment in his career before he faced his first major setback against Andy Ruiz in 2019, and later reclaimed the titles in a rematch with him. Now, Joshua is aiming to become a 3-time unified world champion. Daniel DuBois is determined to take down Anthony Joshua. He wants to be known as the Kingslayer and is ready to prove himself in the ring. DuBois has been focusing on intense training. working on his strength and skills to be in top shape for the fight. He knows that beating Joshua would earn him a lot of respect in the boxing world, and he's determined to give his best performance. On the other hand, Joshua has won 4 straight fights since his loss to Usyk in 2022. Even though he's older than Dubois, Joshua feels fresh and confident. He stays disciplined in his training and avoids unhealthy habits. Joshua recognizes Dubois as a strong opponent and has always kept him in mind. Anthony Joshua clearly has the better resume, but Daniel Dubois is looking much better than he did before. Let's take a look and focus on their most recent fights. Joshua is coming off 2 impressive performances. He fought Otto Wallin, a southpaw who gave Tyson Fury a lot of trouble and even cut him badly. Wallin was briefly ranked in the lower top 10. Joshua also fought Francis Ngannou, an unranked UFC heavyweight champion who shocked everyone by giving Tyson Fury a tough fight and even knocking him down in round 3 of his pro debut boxing match against the seasoned champ. Joshua dominated both opponents, stopping Wallin in round 5 and Ngannou in round 2. However, it's important to note that both Wallin and Ngannou were well below Joshua's level, so while the wins looked flashy, they aren't that impressive in terms of his resume. It's clear from his recent opponents that Joshua is chasing a fight with Fury, or at least trying to outdo Fury by beating his former opponents in a more impressive way. He probably would have done this to Wilder too if they had met on the Day of Reckoning card, but Wilder ended up losing to Parker instead. Joshua has evolved into a boxer counterpuncher who can brawl when he wants to. He has a decent jab, not super powerful, but he uses it well to gauge distance and set up his right cross. On the outside, he jabs and moves, feints to get his opponents out of position, and counters with his cross. He's gotten better at working on his cross into combinations and counter jabs, and he's become less hesitant, which is great to see. At mid-range, he has solid combinations like the body jab cross, 1-2, and cross left hook. His boxing IQ and defense have also improved a lot. On the inside, his go-to power punch is a right uppercut. Dubois has made an impressive comeback since losing to Usyk. He stopped Big Baby Miller, a fighter who was once on the path to stardom but messed up his career by using steroids. Dubois took him out round 10 in a tough slugfest, knowing he was the better fighter. But it was his win against Filip Hrgovic, the number 6 contender known as the boogeyman of the division, that was by far the best performance of Dubois' career. This has now put Dubois in a prime position for a potential fight with Joshua. It's clear Dubois has learned a lot from his fight with Usyk. His movement has improved. He's quicker, lighter on his feet, and his powerful jab has become a real weapon. Even more impressive is how he's developed a tougher mentality. He went to war with Hrgovic in a bloody slugfest and came out on top. Dubois is still growing as a fighter, and if he keeps improving, his future looks bright in the heavyweight division. However, Dubois still has a tendency to use some dirty tactics, like the low blows in the Usyk fight. He seems to be taking a page from Evander Holyfield's playbook, charging headfirst in a crouch to come out better in accidental head clashes. But can this energized Dubois beat Joshua? We will have to wait to see on fight night. Joshua has quicker hands and a tighter defense, while Dubois might have a better chin. Dubois does have faster feet and that aggressive jab, which could give Joshua some trouble. But if he doesn't tighten up his defense, he could get knocked out. Hrgovic landed several clean right hands on Dubois, and while Dubois handled them well, he can't afford to take those kinds of punches from someone like Joshua. Maybe Dubois has a better chin than I'm giving him credit for, but testing it against a power puncher like Joshua could be a mistake. Dubois' best chance to win is to rough Joshua up and drag him into a dogfight, where he can exploit Joshua's chin and his tendency to leave himself open when throwing combos. If Dubois doesn't go for a dirty, rough style, he might end up like Ngannou. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. And, as always, please like and subscribe. Until next time, fight fans.